In the crowded streets of downtown Shem, the streets are bustling with people. From the occupied businessmen on their cell phones, the local shop owners carrying out their business, to the children and retired elderly wandering about, the atmosphere is springing with liveliness. Hidden away in the crowd of surging people are scavengers. Each year, up to thousands of people, riddled with poverty, resort to scavenging and selling cardboard on the streets in Hong Kong. Grandma Wong, a 70-year-old, is one of the local scavengers who experience day-to-day suffering under the pressure of an ever-evolving society. In today's episode, we look into the daily life of Wong and investigate the factors behind her demise as a scavenger. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Waking up, Grandma Wong starts her morning like any other loving grandmother, getting her grandchildren ready for school. In the kitchen of her family's cramped apartment, Wong prepares a simple breakfast of fried eggs. To make ends meet, Wong only cooks for her grandchildren, opting to skip breakfast herself. After a short meal, it's time for her grandchildren to go to school. Their mother often leaves early and returns late from work, leaving Wong as the main caregiver of the children. Taking them down to the local primary school in Mongkok, Wong feels a sense of relief as she sees her grandchildren safe and sound as they walk into the school. For any other grandparent in Hong Kong, now will be the time to relax and chill at the local restaurant. But for Wong, it is only the start of her day. After fulfilling her morning responsibilities, Grandma Wong embarks on her daily quest as a scavenger, driven by the unwavering determination to provide for her family's needs. Arriving at Shem by foot, she searches for a cart. It's still away in a desolate alleyway, filled with a stench of sewage. Turning onto Main Street aptly Guy, Wong pushes her cart and collects any object she sees valuable, ranging from discarded shirts in the dumpster to plastic bottles lying around the sidewalk. From store to store, she asks owners for leftover boxes of cardboard. Even a couple would suffice. Whilst the process is a grueling one, she eventually manages to gather a couple of boxes onto her cart. As Grandma Wong approaches a poultry shop, she realizes that there's a problem. A couple of scavengers have gathered at the storefront. When she approaches the store owner, the owner shakes his head and points away, signaling that the cardboard has all been collected by others. Sometimes, certain scavengers set mutual agreements with store owners, essentially reserving the cardboard for themselves on a daily basis. After a tedious and tiring morning, lunch is just around the corner. Although any regular person would feel exhausted after hours of physical labor, Grandma Wong has no time to feel tired. There's a free food vendor just around the corner, and a long line full of hungry locals has already formed in the span of minutes. As Grandma Wong pushes her way into the crowd, she politely asks the vendor for a simple meal of rice, boiled vegetables, and minced beef. The vendor considerately hands over the food, and she sits down by the road to enjoy her meal. Though, on other days, Grandma Wong isn't as lucky as usual. Sometimes, the food vendors would run out of food, or worse, not show up altogether. Grandma Wong decides to call it a day. Pushing her cart to the recycling center located a few streets away, she places all her scavenged materials onto a balance. It's just enough to earn her less than $100 today. Although any sane person would want to head home and rest at this point, Wong still needs to take up the responsibility of taking care for her granddaughters, making her afternoon routine just as busy as the day. Holding on to her scanty earnings from the day, she walks back to her grandchildren's school on foot with us. Here, she talks about her days before she became a scavenger. That's not bad.
以前呢就唔執紙皮嘅，就喺嗰個公園嗰度睇人哋跳舞咯。有啲做運動以前都有做教人嚟做運動嗰啲嘅，依家冇見咧。有啲政府嗰啲人喺度教跳舞，依家都好似冇。翻去3點幾就去接學啦。
接完跟住就會有咩做啊？即係下晝通常。
煮飯啊，那接人就等啊嚇，仲等咩啊？
煮飯。
Amidst the challenges that Grandma Wong faces in her difficult life, she also grapples with the constant uncertainty of her legal status in Hong Kong. Despite her tireless efforts to make a living, Grandma Wong finds herself ineligible for government subsidies due to her unofficial registration as a Hong Kong citizen. The heartbreaking reality further exacerbates her struggles, leaving her without the support she desperately needs to navigate her daily life and work.
我呢度都冇身份，冇我仔屋企有我呢個唔申請我哋仲有女喺屋企俾我哋維實嘅。
After listening to her troubles and dire situation, our interviewing team decided to aid Wong's family by donating $300 to her, hoping that it could be of use. She greatly appreciated our help, saying that it would definitely alleviate her stress. One might ask, what has led to Grandma Wong's demise as a scavenger? On the surface, although her relationship with her grandchildren appears to be adequate, a long history of a tragic family dispute looms behind her. During our interview, we delve into the deeply personal and complex family problems that have shaped the lives of Grandma Wong and those closest to her.
又唔平衡啊！你真係又知好麻煩㗎。我心屋企都唔平衡，你做乜嘢都唔啱，我都講唔出啊！佢老豆又走咗，我真係佢心好痛。佢女仔又走咗。 自己老豆跌到街又走咗，我心好似有支刀咁拮住，真係一講我都會出眼淚啦，真係我都冇辦法。
Being underappreciated members of society, scavengers remain a relatively unknown presence in the faces of the privileged living in Hong Kong Island. Although their background of a lack of education has hindered their ability to work, they are still human, after all. As lucky, privileged students studying at the ISF Academy, we should learn to give back and help ones in need in our society, and most importantly, be willing to listen to their stories.